Hello, welcome into this special edition and postseason edition of the Danny Sancomb Show. My name is Matt Kiefer. With me is head coach Danny Sancomb, and along with some hardware the Vulcans were able to bring back this weekend.
Good weekend for us.
It's been a long time coming. You've been with the program a while. You came in the program, was not anywhere close to where it is now. It had to be quite satisfying to yourself, Coach Bridgman, all the former players I'm sure have reached out to you, knowing all the effort worked into bringing this piece of hardware back to California.
Yeah, I think that was a great thing. Some of the text messages some of the former players here at Cal had sent me after we won, and just really appreciated seeing our vision and obviously being a part, and a lot of those guys, especially early, getting this thing turned around. It was very nice to hear from them all. Very nice.
So the historic week starts there. First round bye, which is great to have as being the number 2 seed. And you get a home game this year featuring a nice crossover element to the PSAC tournament. And it actually turned out to be a huge turning point here for the conference overall. Both men's and women's, all 4 Western Division teams ended up beating the Eastern Division. So the PSAC Final Four was basically a PSAC West Final Four. Not exactly, I'm sure, what the conference envisioned growing up, but you've said it all year long. The idea of the balance in the West definitely shown through this week in the tournament.
And I think it really did, like you mentioned. And games can go either way. Obviously, IUP and Westchester was very close, and a lot of those games are close. But our side this year was so strong and competitive, and it showed obviously in the tournament for sure.
So this starting again in the quarterfinals against Shepherd. Last year the Rams hosted the PSAC Final Four and got the better of the Vulcans there in the semifinals. But this year is in the quarterfinal round at home. Much different story there for California this time around with Shepherd.
Yeah, I think we had a bad taste in our mouth from our last regular season game. Our only home loss on the year in conference, and we were ready to play. And I think the key for us is defensively, and I thought we were outstanding defensively. Shepherd presents a lot of problems with how they play, a lot of ball screen, they'll slow pace and tempo, and we were able to create some turnovers, get out in transition, and get some easy baskets, and we did a pretty good job, obviously, on them defensively, making it difficult for them to score.
In that contest there was a big 15-point lead at halftime, 50-35. Vulcans shoot 54% from the floor, so the offense was going. But as you said all year, the defense really is what gets you guys moving once you guys start really playing well.
Yeah, I think that, Shepherd doesn't give up a lot of points. They're very good defensively, tough, physical, and we were able to turn them over and get a lot of easy opportunities in transition. And
one of those things, too, the idea when you have a 15-point lead at halftime, you can do different things. And they just could not find a way to score in the second half. They only shot 5 of 29 from the floor. So they were trying everything they could to try to cut in that deficit, but they just had no answer when you're down that many points. They just shot only 4 of 24 from the three-point land, and that's something there I'm sure you pride yourself on, the three-point defense.
Yeah, they beat Lockhaven in the round before, and they shot the ball extremely well, and we want to make sure, you got to give up something. Their point guard's so good and can create. So he's able to get guys open shots, but we really wanted to work and make it difficult for their point guard, but really make it difficult on their other players out there. And I thought we did a really good job with that, not giving up a lot of open shots. They were going to get some shots, but they were contested. And then we did a really good job rebounding the ball on misses.
Yeah, Marcus Banks, their star guard, he ends up with 32 points. Everybody looks like, oh my goodness, but there's no one else that even had more than 7. And again, forcing 7 turnovers for him. And of the 32, 12 of 14 from the line. So we really made him work for it, get to the line to get those shots.
Yeah, really good player. It was, we didn't play Shepherd this year. Obviously, we knew about him. He had a great game against us in the semifinals last year. He's a hard-nosed player that plays well, but our guys did make him work. Obviously, 32 points is a ton, but we did a good job. We did a good job on him, and like I mentioned, shutting the other guys down was important to us.
Yeah, on the glass there, 47-35, a big advantage there. For the Vulcans, you had 4 stars in double figures, nobody more than 16, nobody less than 13 really out of the 4. Then you also had Antoine with 9. So it's just the idea of balanced scoring. Jordan Buchanan and Bryson Lucas both had double-doubles in that contest.
Yeah, and we really slowed it down in the second half. I think we scored 31 points in the second half, but we really were okay with that. We knew our defense was good, and we just not completely went in stall mode, but we just took the air out of the ball to shorten the game up, and it was good for us. And we just thought leg-wise, we're not the deepest team. Not going up and down for 2 halves was good and worked out well for us.
So that was on Wednesday there, and then Thursday the conference announces it's all conference selections. No surprise seeing Bryson Lucas on the highlight there for superlatives. Defensive Athlete of the Year, second time in 3 years, the 2 years he's been a starter for the program. He's been just that stalwart there right in the middle. Has that unique stat line of going basically for 15, 9, 3, 2, and 2. And it's just one of those things that's a unique element for an all-around player.
Yeah, and when you say all-around, that sums up Bryson. I was hoping that maybe he could win Player of the Year. I know he had a good enough year for it. Obviously, Dillard at IUP had a great year as well, and Prosser at Gannon. They're really good players, but I felt Bryson would be right there. He just does a lot for us, defensively, not only just with the reboundings, the deflections, the steals, the block shots and changing shots. Gives us an opportunity to be able to switch on a lot of things. He's very special defensively, but more so what I've seen a big improvement on this year from Bryson is on the offensive end. Just his confidence and just worked on his shooting, ball handling, passing, decision making, and he's always been a good passer, decision maker. But just to see it with this type of confidence this year, it's been great. He's been very important to the success of our team, and when you have a player that talented, just very happy that the accolades came for him this year, because he's been a guy that's been in our program that's always been an outstanding player. But I always kind of felt like he would give a little bit more so just for the team on the offensive end, and was okay with that and did everything else for us all the time. So, it's been his turn this year, and he's really stepped up and done a great job with that.
Yeah, just going over the All-PSEC West major awards and the first teamers. Dallas Dillard, the standout guard from IEP Athlete of the Year. Bryson, we referenced, Defensive Athlete of the Year. Rowan Carmichael, the shooting guard from Edinburgh, could really shoot from perimeter. Ethan Bozzoli, the coach of the year at Gannon, getting the Golden Knights to first place in the West and getting to host the PSAC Championship Final Four. We'll talk about that a little bit here after break. But again, the rest of the first teamers: Kendrick Curtis, the Seton Hill, the post from there. Dillard, first team, obviously. Baden Forup from UPJ, the post who could never miss a shot anywhere inside. It seemed like the three-point circle. Christian Moore, the IEP sharpshooter. Trey Nelson, the point guard from Clarion, and Pace Prosser, who basically steers everything and guides Gannon. That's a collection of standouts there. I'm sure a lot of those guys will be all-region guys, but just talks about the depth overall in the PSAC. Almost every team in the West had at least one guy in the first team, and it showed that why there's so many good teams overall in the West. Yeah,
I would think every coach in our conference would drool to have the opportunity to coach a team like that. There's a lot of good players on there, all deserving. And it's tough, on our side, because there's other great players that are delegated to second team that are good enough to be first team conference. You only get 7 guys, so sometimes that's how the votes go. But those 7 players are outstanding.
And not to be remiss in there for the Vulcans, Antoine Arnett and Jordan Buchanan both getting second team selections for the first time in their career. Obviously, this piece of hardware wouldn't be here without those 3 guys, in addition to some of the other guys that played their roles for the Vulcans.
Yeah, Antoine first. He's just outstanding for us. Ask Antoine to do a lot. He's a little bit of a difficult matchup physically. He's big, strong. He has the ability to attack the rim, make shots, pull up jump shots. Good on the offensive glass. He's had an outstanding year, and typically we ask Antoine to guard the best offensive player on the other end, and he's another guy that has great defensive instincts and good size and length. And then Jordan Buchanan has been great for us both years, but this year just to see the growth and development of him as a player, being able to put the ball on the floor more, just getting stronger, just shooting off the dribble and being just more confident this year. Both of those guys, when you look at it, they very easily could be first team all conference players, and I'm happy to see those guys both get second team all conference, and they're a big part of what we do.
Well, it takes a look at the quarterfinals and gets us to Thursday last week. We'll be right back after break talking about Saturday and Sunday's 2 epic contests there in California basketball history.
Vulcan Nation, it's time to come together. On Thursday, March 19th, join the 4th Annual California Giving Day, a 24-hour celebration of pride, tradition, and opportunity. Think about what you love most: a team, a program, a scholarship that made your path possible. Now you can give to what you love and help today's students create their own California story. Make your gift, rally your friends, and show your Vulcan pride. Let's make this our strongest giving day yet. Donate by visiting pennwest.edu/California Giving 2026 or scan the QR code.
Interested in an internship and possible future career? to come down to the Internship and Career Fair at Penn West, California, located in the Natali Performance Center on March 18th from 11 to 2. Be sure to bring your curiosity, a short intro about yourself, and even a resume if you have one. Make sure to wear anything you feel confident and comfortable in. You can expect friendly conversations with employers, info about internships and careers across majors, and support from the career staff if you need any help. If you have any questions, contact the Career Center at 724-938-4413 or internship@pennwest.edu.
Vulcans, the anticipation was real. The Student Activities Board is excited to announce that this year's concert will be 303 and Hot Shell Array. The concert will be held on April 16th, 2026, with doors opening at 7 p.m. The concert begins at 8 p.m. with Hot Shell Array, with 303 following. Tickets are open to all students and the public. Student tickets are at a discounted rate of $10 to $15 and allow for floor access. Public tickets are $15 and only for the bowl access.
Hello, welcome back to this edition of the Dan Sancomb Show. Coach, we left the break there basically ending and going into the weekend this past couple of days ago. Everything was hosted up at Gannon, men's and women's basketball tournaments. Not how it was drawn up, but it's how it worked out. And a little bit easier perspective from an idea of a scouting-wise. Again, four opponents there. Everybody knew each other from the West idea. You play Seton Hill in the semifinals, 2 games against this year, 2 wins for the Vulcans. First one at home, a tighter game. The freshman point guard really went off for 3-pointers. But the second game at Seton Hill, a lot more Cal-sided. But the semifinal was not going to be an easy one. You know that going into it, especially facing a team for a third time in a year.
Yeah, I was a little worried. We played the second time we played them at their place. We played outstanding, and I think they had a difficult game. They had a couple guys that were just coming back off of injury that hadn't played for a week and a half, 2 weeks, and they were a little bit rusty, and we were hitting on all cylinders. And I always just, try to stress to our team, what has happened in the past. We got to beat them for 40 minutes tonight if we want to get an opportunity to play for the conference championship. And started the game off very well, and they made a few minor adjustments, went zone a little bit, and then made a few more adjustments defensively, and it gave us trouble. We really struggled in the first half offensively, and we turned the ball over a little bit too much. In the second half, I thought we, started to get our stride offensively. We played better. I thought we drove the ball and found the open guy. In the first half, I felt like we tried to force it a little bit too much, so it was good to, get in there at halftime and talk about that, and then the guys responded the way that they responded.
Yeah, 2 big runs there for both teams there in the first half. I think Cal 13-2, then Seton Hill goes like a 14-3 kind of run, basically negates itself for, let's say, 34-34 tie at halftime. But second half, you guys come out and shoot 54%, and you hold them to 31%. I know that's one of your big stats. There's opponent's field goal percentage, and that anytime you hold a team to shooting 31% in a half, you like your chances when it's basically even at the halftime.
Yeah, that's when we're at our best. You can go back and look at our best games. That's who we are. And when we struggle, you'll see, teams will carve us up. And I think the biggest thing is just our guys being locked in, and it gets a little bit easier as you get to this point of the season, where it's you either win or you go home. So I felt like our guys really locked in the second half and responded very, very well, and didn't panic. It was a tie game at halftime. We didn't panic, and I thought we really took control the start of the second half and just held on to it the entire second half.
Yeah, so it's trying to catch up there. They were 7-28 from the three-point land, and then the Vulcans had a 41-29 rebounding advantage. Bryson goes for a double-double again, 20 and 11, and the rest of the guys, basically everybody gets 9 points or more of the starters, and then Keandre off the bench. It's just the overall balanced effort in that contest.
Yeah, very balanced, and again, that's kind of who we are. We 5-6 guys scoring in double figures usually leads to a good win for us. Bryson also, just in the second half was very active with his hands, got his hands on a lot of basketballs, and was able to get us in transition, and we were able to finish in there, and it was good. Keandre coming off the bench with good offensive production, especially in the second half. He had a tough first half and just bounced back in the second half and was able to get got an amazing dunk on alley-oop from Bryson. And Braden Reynolds has just been so so solid for us this year too. Just brings toughness defensively and scores in the lane and makes passes to guys and gets our guys going as well. Did a good job for us.
And then a short turnaround, not exactly as it's drawn up necessarily in the rule handbook, the idea of you guys play the late game 7:30 on Saturday, and you got to come back and play a championship game on 3:30 at the Highmark Event Center, which is Gaines' home court after their women's just lost a title game. The place was very adamant during the women's game and not losing one title game. They were definitely ready to go to try to get that second one, get a second chance at it. But it's one of those things there. Gaines is the top 5 team in the country. You split the regular season with them. You know what they're going to do. They know what you're going to do. To see how it plays out. And it was a tight game all the way through, literally coming down to the final seconds.
Yeah, a lot of respect for Gannon. I've been doing this for a long time. Their team plays as hard as any team that I've seen doing this. They really do play hard and make things difficult on you on both ends. It's just hard to get the ball in bounds against them, let alone get it 94 feet and get a shot. They make it very difficult. And then, on the other end, offensively, they push it very hard and they move and cut extremely well. And they're as good as any offensive rebounding team that we've played, and they go get it. So they make it very difficult on you. And if you're going to beat them, you're going to have to beat them. And our guys stayed locked in, stayed within their emotions, and kept fighting because it wasn't an easy game for us. Like, what I mean by easy, it just didn't come natural. They make things difficult, and they make runs, and they're going to have runs. But we were able to respond and keep fighting, and said a lot about the guys. So, very, very, very fortunate to beat them. That game could have went either way. We're very grateful that we beat them. They hadn't lost a game since 2023 at home. So, they're accustomed to winning there. And for us to win there, we knew we'd have to beat them. So we were happy to do that. But a lot of respect, for their coaching staff and for their players. They go at it hard.
You referenced the idea of offensive rebounding. Like, they had 16 offensive boards, but the Vulcans get 32 defensive boards. So when Gannon missed a shot, you guys went and got it. And they certainly missed a lot. They ended up going 26-70. They only shot 37.1%. But again, a lot of the second chance opportunities for them, but still finding a way to get the chance. They have 16 more shots than them. You come away with an 80-79 victory. That's pretty special for you guys to have that happen.
Yeah, and it was just toughness. We preach that all the time to our guys, and our guys really responded with that. For me, a lot of coaches are into a lot of different things. I truly do believe if you have great effort, all the other things follow, like taking care of the basketball, rebounding the basketball, all those things you need to do to win a game. But I just always feel like, it starts with effort and toughness, and that's who we are. We are a little bit of an old school basketball team this year, and I like that from the standpoint. I think last year we led the PSAC in three-point attempts. This year we are, last. I think our guys know who we are, and we play to our strengths.
Yeah, well, obviously in the highlights, you're going to see the idea of the last couple of seconds there. Bryson has the ball, loses a turnover there, but you guys find a way to get them to foul quickly. They make 1 or 2 at the line, and then you go to call a timeout and you drop a play that basically couldn't work out any better, except it maybe going nothing but net to start with. But it's just the idea of Braden Reynolds on the inbound, Bryson with a quick flip, and then Jordan being able to race down the sideline, and then being ice water in the vein with 1,500 people yelling and screaming and hitting 3 free throws to win a conference championship.
Yeah, and again, that's all toughness, like you get the end result of the play. But for that play to work, the inbounder, which was Braden, has to throw a great pass. And Braden made a great pass. And then Bryson, has to use his athleticism and just talent to be able to catch it and pass it before he even hits the ground. And then Jordan Buchanan to be able to get his feet set. And we were going for the win. There we wanted a 3. He may have been able to get a layup. We told him that, but we really wanted to play for the win. And, was able to get off the shot and got fouled. And then his clutch gene came in for us, and making 3 foul shots like you mentioned with yelling and screaming going on. Just it's the toughness of it. That's what it boils down to. And, just proud that our guys were able to do that. We really talked about emotional intelligence more this year with this team. And, when you give up a turnover like that, our guys all came together and still believed that we would have an opportunity to win the game. So it's a growth. Proud of that. We want to continue to grow in emotional intelligence. I think that's something that needs to continue. And obviously winning the PSAC the way we did, it was surreal. Like it's been a long time coming, and we've wanted this, and I think we've had some opportunities in the past, and for it to happen this year, I'm just super happy for the players. They've really worked hard this year. We were 1-4 to start the year. There was no complaining. There was no feeling sorry for themselves. We lost 2 games on the last play of the game in the first 4 games, and we've just continued to be consistent with our work habits, and been a fun group to coach from that standpoint. And we know we have a lot more work to do coming up this week, and if we want to continue to advance, we're going to have to play great basketball.
Yeah, it's the first conference title there for California men's basketball since 2008. But again, going to the NCAA tournament on the way home, you already know you're in the tournament. You just try to figure out your seed. The NCAA does a nice job of letting everybody know at 11 o'clock at night Eastern time. You guys get the 4th seed. You face Fayetteville State, a team you faced a couple years ago, an early tip-off matchup there. But new head coach this year, a coach you're familiar with from his playing days at West Liberty, and then he goes to Nova Southeastern, and he comes back up north to coaches Bluefield State for a couple years, and his first year at Fayetteville State wins them a conference title.
Yeah, he does an outstanding job. First, he was an unbelievable player. I'm glad he's not playing anymore. But he's done a great job coaching. He's got that philosophy down that started at West Liberty where he played at, and obviously was at Nova, and has done a great job at Bluefield and Fayetteville State. So we'll have to be prepared. Good thing for us is, we see that with Gannon. We played West Liberty. I think, it creates a lot of problems, but seeing it as many times as we have this year is a good thing for us.
Yeah, let's just look at the stats roughly there. The idea, their team scores a lot, 89.5 points a game. They're 5th in the country in blocks, but they're 1st in free throws made a game and free throw attempts. So one of those things you're going to see probably, they're used to getting a lot of fouls called, and they make a lot of free throws when they get to the line.
Yeah, they get to the foul line a ton. A good thing is we do a good job of keeping teams off the foul line. We're going to have to play solid defense. We're going to stay down, disciplined, and really keep the ball in front offensively. We got some guys that can get off the ground and finish, and we play some teams that can block shots prior, and they do a really good job, with that. They are an athletic team, so we're going to have to take the ball strong and take the ball through their face and get contact when they leave their feet for sure.
Yeah, it's a couple of names to look out for there. Number 0, Larry Howes, a CIAA Player of the Year. He averages about 21 points a game. And he's 85% shooter from the free throw line. He's a 6'6" senior. He came from Bluefield State, so obviously when the coach comes, he comes with them. And then number 11, Ezekiel Kennedy, 6th man of the year in the conference, but it's one of those things, he's not a 6th man. He averages 17 points a game. He's 5th in the conference in scoring. He shoots 36% from three-point land, so he's deadly from beyond the arc. And he's also a transfer from Johnson C. Smith, CIAA Rookie of the Year a couple years ago. So 2 big guards there in terms of who's going to get the ball and what they want to do with it.
Yeah, both of those guys are scorers. Number 11 is a 3-point shooter. Took almost 300 threes on the season, gets it off. Going to have to make it difficult on him. And obviously the Player of the Year, you don't have to say too much, but he's strong. He's athletic. He has the ability to shoot, puts it on the floor well, and they have other good players as well. So we're gonna have to work. But when you get to this point of the season, when you get to the NCAA tournament, you're going to play elite teams. 64 teams make it. In our region, we have the biggest region. When I mean biggest, most teams in the region. Our region's very competitive. So, the 8 teams that made it are all fortunate, and it's going to be a war. Each game, you look at the matchups. Whoever wins is going to have to play well.
And there's going to be a lot of familiar names in the matchup. You have Gannon, is going to be hosting it, so back-to-back weekends for the Highmark Events Center. Gannon, IUP's in it. Fairmont State, West Liberty, 2 of the best teams in the MEC. And you have a handful of teams from the CIAA coming up as well. So it'll be a very good weekend of action up in Erie, Pennsylvania. Coach, best of luck and congratulations so far on the postseason, and best of luck as we go forward.
Appreciate it. Thanks.
Thanks for watching the Dan Sancomb Show.